Hello there and welcome back to the podcast. I'm Dr. Russell Sharp, the founder of Utrema Limited. We make premium fertilizers, novel biostimulants and organic biopesticides. And we're talking biostimulants today, and a very interesting biostimulant, but just as much as it is interesting in an academic way about what it does on the crops, it's really interesting from the perspective of how we develop biostimulants and how they're marketed and they come to market and what makes them a success and academia's involvement in that. And I'll give you my view on that. And I think it's really interesting from a business perspective as well. So the one we're going to talk about today is not one that I manufacture at Utrema. It's not one I come across very often, but there seems to be a number of companies springing up that are talking about it. And it's T6P, or trehalose 6-phosphate. And this compound, T6P, is a central sucrose status signal in plants. It controls the resource allocations, including photosynthesis, carbon partitioning, and growth across all plant species. So there's been genetic studies and peer-reviewed field data that show that foliar applications of T6P, this signaling sugar, as it were, can raise yields, particularly in wheat. And for the moment, this is where the biostimulant is focused, but it may go on to other crops and horticultural crops and hydroponic crops and things like this later on. But it's been studied academically in wheat, and that's where a lot of these companies that are selling products or hoping to sell products are focused their energy. Because wheat is a massive crop worldwide, particularly in the UK, it's probably the main crop. And overall, the academic consensus is that T6P pathway intervention is a credible way of improving yields, but large, independent multi-crop field data is still, some way off. There's certainly, in-house and small-scale academic studies and things like this. So it's an interesting one. It could be the new tricontinol. So tricontinol is a fatty alcohol that's used widely in horticulture. It's almost like T6P. It's a natural compound that you'll find in plants. It's not a hormone, but it helps with photosynthesis and partitioning and things like that. So this could be in that sort of band of biostimulants, a single compound that is not a hormone, but does have biostimulatory effects and modifies plant growth and photosynthesis. So, but the really interesting thing is that there is one company called Unium, and I don't know how you pronounce that, Unium, Unium, and I've met one of the guys from there. He gave a talk at the same talk I was giving to an agricultural distributor early in the year, and Unium have got a range of biostimulant and fertilizer products, just like Utrema have, and we don't compete on many things, but we don't interact either very often. And one of the compounds was a T6P product, and he showed some data for their studies and things like this, and it sparked my interest because I've heard of another company selling this as almost proprietary. They invented it. And so it'd be really interesting to compare the two. So I'm comparing Unium's product to SugarRox's product. And the Unium product, 1 litre per hectare, and really, really high return on investments are claimed, 9-1. So that's sort of like, increase your yields massively, like 87% above break-even performance. That's a really high claim for return on investment for a biostimulant. And then costs of like £64 a hectare. So yeah, really, really strong claims there. And then the actual claims of germination improvement, chlorophyll concentration, stress tolerance, things like this, many of the same claims you will find in any biostimulant, really. And they claim 69 trials and farmer experiences, and whether farmer experience just means customer bought it and tried it and liked it, I don't know. Intellectual property wise, it's more about the formulation and less clarity about the unique IP. I think they may even buy the product in rather than make it themselves. That's it. Talking to them, that's what they do for a lot of their products. They're specialists in formulators and distribution, things like this. Whereas SugarRox, this is a product that came on later, but they're claiming to have proprietary technology. Now, it might be that the T6P molecule is slightly different, and they've published in Nature Biotechnology. I think they've also got a patent, perhaps, on this. Certainly, they are looking for a lot of investment, but it doesn't. The thing about their investment is it doesn't mention that other companies are selling T6P biostimulants. And if I was at Unium, if that's how you pronounce it, I'd be a bit pissed off myself, because SugarRox is a spin-out company from Rothamsted Research in Oxford University. And so that's public money and public grants and public investment that's gone into producing a competitor to their product. It's not gone to support them. It's gone to compete against them and take market share away from them. And that would be extremely frustrating to me if I was Unium. Same happened to me with the James Hutton Institute. We did a lot of research on chitosan, and in the past I've worked with James Hutton Institute on chitosan, and we were marketing chitosan, and then suddenly James Hutton Institute decided they were going to start up a chitosan company, spin out. And again, that's public money. The James Hutton Institute is a academic research organisation in Scotland. I'm not quite sure whatever happened to that, but it was when I heard the news about that, I was like, that's a bit off. Rather than partnering with British business, they're actually competing directly against British business. So that was very strange. There's no data yet or information yet on SugarRox and how they're going to position it in the market, like costs and things like this. They're very much at the early stage. They're at every trade show I've been to recently. They're presenting their biostimulants, and so I think they're both looking for investors and looking for customers. And best of luck to them. The problem, they said they're going to look at 2 new compounds as well. They're going to be patenting them in the next few months. That's interesting, because a biostimulant company that sells just one product is in danger. It's very difficult to run a successful, profitable company with just one biostimulant, especially if you've got lots and lots of investors and you're burning through cash and you've only got one product and it has to live and die by whether farmers decide to use it. As I've said previously on podcasts, biostimulants are a vitamin, not a pill. So once farmers have paid for their fertilizers and their pesticides, if they've got any money left, they can then choose whether they want to gamble on increasing yields with a biostimulant or put that money in the bank. So just because you have trial data that says you can increase yields by 10% or whatever it is you claim, doesn't mean that farmers are going to buy it, because they will still see it as a risk and they might be prudent and put that money away for further investments, especially with the economic climate and the way farming is going. So it's an interesting one. We still need lots of information about where the SugarRox products will position itself. And I guess if it goes onto farms and it sees really good success, then it'll be taken up. Same goes for the Unium product and any biostimulant, whether you're buying a T6P product or any other type of biostimulant. So interesting one to look at. I'd say you've got the SugarRox's advantages are possibly, patented technology and the fact they've got they've got government funding, grants and investment behind them. And Unium's advantage is they've already got routes to market. They're already working with distributors. So it'd be interesting to know which one comes out on top in the fight for T6P supremacy. And watch this space. Just look back at that chitosan spin out. It was actually University of Strathclyde spin out that was working with the James Hutton Institute. So just clarify that before I get sued. I've got enough heat on my back already with my previous podcast episodes. That's everything for today. Tomorrow I'm heading to Fruit Attraction in Madrid. So hopefully there'll be lots of biostimulant companies there I can talk to. And then the next week I'm going to the Vertical Farming World Congress in Amsterdam. I've been able to blag some free tickets for those events. Thanks very much to the organisers so we can do some podcasts about the technology that's on show there. If you are organising a show or a trade event, a conference, then hit me up with some free tickets and I'll fly over on my own dime and come and talk to your attendees and your exhibitors. If you've liked this podcast, then please do give it an Apple Podcast review and that would help me tremendously. Until next time, thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.